Well, welcome to Bradbury Science Museum's annual High-Tech Halloween. I'm Kelly Beierschmidt, the Deputy Director for Operations at Los Alamos National Laboratory. Here at our laboratory, we value being a leader in education, community, and safety, not only in the town of Los Alamos, but in the 7 counties that surround us. I know that many of you have had to derail your traditional plans due to the recent events. But tonight, what we can provide for you is free, fun, and a safe way to have a blast.
Hi, welcome to the Bradbury Science Museum's back parking lot. Welcome to our high-tech Halloween virtual demo. We've been doing high-tech Halloween for 26 years. We had some pretty big plans for this year, but as we all know, 2020 calls for some changes. So instead of our regular great big extravaganza, we're doing a really cool demo out here just for you with some of our lab chemists. If I can get y'all to come over here, I'd like to introduce to you Donovan Porterfield and Jackie Vother. Got Dolly Young, and on her way, Ning Xu. And Donovan's going to tell you a little bit about what you can expect in the coming minutes. Donovan?
Thank you, Stacy.
So Donovan, what kind of toothpaste you are using at home?
Crest.
Crest? Oh, Winnie. Today we are going to make some elephant toothpaste. Do you know what that is?
I do. That we can take some hydrogen peroxide and in combination with a catalyst, decompose that hydrogen peroxide to water and oxygen gas. And we're going to have some soap and food coloring in the mix.
Well, why we have that?
So we're going to get lots of colorful foam and soap.
Whoa, well, let's see, Donovan.
Let's give it a try.
All right, Jen, you ready?
Ready?
Ning? Dolly?
Yes. Yes.
Ready?
2, 1, 0. 1, 2, 3. All right. Well, we're going to be cleaning that up for a while.
Don't try this at home.
All right, Jonathan, would you like to talk at all about chemicals that we use?
Thank you, Stacy. As I mentioned, we're using hydrogen peroxide. So usually if you do this demo at home, you can use 3% hydrogen peroxide that you get at the store. Here, for this, to give a lot more foam and excitement and energy, we're using 30%. At home, for the catalyst, you can use yeast, baker's yeast. Contains an enzyme that will catalyze the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide. For the soap, we're just using like Dawn dishwashing liquid or Dawn dishwashing soap, and just any sort of food coloring, whatever color strikes your fancy. And so we put the hydrogen peroxide, the soap, and the food coloring together, and then the final thing we did was add that catalyst. Now for this, we're not using the baker's yeast, we're using another chemical that you can only get from a lab supply.
All right.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Donovan.
Thank you.
Thank you, all of you.
And this is part of, for those of us working at the lab, we're also working members of the American Chemical Society. And towards the end of October is National Chemistry Week. So we're also celebrating that holiday for chemists.
Chemistry,
We have a question.
chemistry.
We have a question.
Oh.
Okay, from the chat. We couldn't find the higher percentage of hydrogen peroxide. Is there anywhere in town that we can find it?
I understand some hair care stores have available higher percentages of hydrogen peroxide.
Beauty supply stores.
Beauty supply stores that you can, is there a trade name or specific?
I know there's one in Santa Fe. Don't recall the name, but
Okay.
I'm guessing they all
You can
carry.
buy it at Sally's.
Yeah.
Sally's, I'm told. But what we used came from a chemical supplier. Other questions?
What is the temperature of the toothpaste?
That is pretty warm. You'll see a lot of steam coming off. We've not measured it. That's a good experiment we can do next time. Is to put a thermocouple in there and see what the temperature is. But we usually let it cool down before we go back in and start the cleanup.
Do you use this kind of science application at work for anything?
Catalyst, yes. A lot of chemists will use a catalyst to make a reaction go quicker. It saves you a lot of energy if you can catalyze a reaction versus using heat or other form of energy to make that reaction go. The catalysts are very important to chemists, and they kind of have a unique property that a catalyst is not consumed in a reaction, but merely advances the rate at which the reaction occurs.
What are the recipe proportions?
So for this, we used 500 or more mils of the hydrogen peroxide. What we used again is 30%. The Dawn dishwashing liquid is just, I think we used about 200 mils in each. Food coloring is sort of to fit your fancy. For the catalyst, we used about 100 mil volume of catalyst solution.
Okay, so here's the question as it's written. How did the slime, or how did the pumpkin?
So the slime is formed, and so some of the pumpkins we left tops off, so the slime would have come straight out top. For other pumpkins, they were nicely carved with faces. So for those, we pinned the tops on, so the foam would come out the facial features.
Maybe you want to say that there's oxygen gas.
What is the catalyst?
Should we say what the catalyst is?
You can get it on Amazon.
So we used potassium iodide, 100 grams in 100 mils. It's almost a saturated solution. So these are 125 ml bottles, so we had them almost kind of up to the top. But it's oxygen gas being that's what drives the foam.
If it is so hot, why doesn't it melt the table or the pumpkins?
I think it's quite warm, but there's not a lot of thermal mass there to melt those items.
Warm is not hot.
It's warm, but not hot.
More questions that I have.
Yay!
You can mention that this is going to be on the museum's YouTube page soon.
I'm told that this video, for those who missed it live, is being recorded and will be featured on the Bradbury Museum website in the coming days.
Anything else, Stacy?
Or the YouTube link will be on the Bradbury Museum science page.
Did you want to talk about the Steve Spangler?
That if you Google the phrase elephant toothpaste, you can find a number of websites that have videos and further instructions. One of the popular ones is Steve Spangler. That he has a website and he has different versions of this demonstration. But there are other websites too. But just Google elephant toothpaste demonstration and you'll find a lot of permutations of videos. And there's even been in the last few months some record-setting executions of elephant toothpaste. So you can see that those videos as well on YouTube.
Would this generate more pressure than Mentos and Diet Coke?
Yes.
I'm told yes, but that's an experiment we could try to see what generates the greater absolute pressure.
Are you going to write a grant for this experiment?
I'm not sure what funding agency might be so interested. But for this demonstration, like I said, we've had the support, tremendous support of the Bradbury Museum staff and parking lot and facility, and also the support of the American Chemical Society for a lot of our ingredients and other materials. Thank you all.
All right.
Have a happy Halloween.
Thanks for playing.
Whoa.
Have a safe Halloween.